Hi, boys and girls. It's me, Miss Becky B, and I am so glad to have this opportunity to read to first grade today. It just makes me happy. Well, your teachers told me that I needed to be festive, so today I wore my ghost earrings, I wore my Pooh outer shirt, and I also have my Halloween vest. All for you. All for you. All for first grade. So, I'm going to read this story to you, and I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do. Mark Brown wrote this story. He's the author of Arthur's Halloween. Did you see how I did that? He's the author of Arthur's Halloween. An author is someone who writes a story, but his name is Arthur. We don't really have a lot of friends named Arthur anymore. You don't hear that name. But he is a very famous book character, and there are all kinds of Arthur stories that you may want to get from Miss Peterson in the library. So, Arthur's Halloween and Arthur Adventure. There's a jack-o'-lantern, just like mine. It was the night before Halloween. Arthur's family was busy making the house look spooky. It looked so spooky, in fact, that Arthur had trouble falling asleep. Look, there's his family, and there's Arthur. You can kind of tell by the look on his face that he's like, I'm not sure if I like this or not. Things were even worse the next morning. Help! Screamed Arthur when he opened his eyes. It's just me, said his sister D.W. Boy, are you jumpy. Don't forget, you have to take me trick-or-treating tonight. Little sisters, they can be that way. Do I really have to? Asked Arthur as he ate his cereal. You really do, said his mother. And I want to go to every house, said D.W. Arthur groaned. I'll be the only one who has to drag his baby sister along. He doesn't sound real excited, does he? There's D.W. and she's like, you got to do this, brother. And he's like, wish I didn't have to. You ever been there? Got a little sister? Arthur didn't recognize anyone at school. There was a giant robot in his classroom taking attendance. Okay, giant means big. So I wonder who that giant robot was that was taking attendance. That's a clue. If they're taking attendance, I bet you can guess who it was. You sound just like my teacher, Mr. Marco, said Arthur. I am your teacher, said the robot. The only one Arthur recognized was the brain. He was wrapped in aluminum foil. I'm a baked potato, said the brain. See, now you boys and girls probably don't know this because your mamas probably put your baked potatoes in the microwave. But my mama would take a fork and poke holes in the baked potato and wrap them in aluminum foil and put them in the oven. And that was what baked potatoes look like. They're better in the oven, by the way. Francine passed out special morning snacks. Eat these, she said. They're batwing brownies and vampire blood. Everyone ate them but Arthur. Then they all put on blindfolds. Buster passed around bowls he said were filled with human eyeballs, hearts, and brains. Now let's stop there for a second. They're being silly, aren't they? Human eyeballs, hearts, and brains. When I was a little girl, we would have a carnival at school, and you would have to close your eyes and stick your hand in a bowl, and they would say, it's eyeballs. It was grapes, okay? And then you'd have to stick your hand in another bowl, and they'd say, it's brains of a monster. It was spaghetti, okay? So that's what they're doing. They're just being silly, okay? Arthur turned pale. That means all the blood rushed out of his face, and he was kind of sick feeling. It was his turn, and he wouldn't even touch them. What a scaredy cat, said Francine. Chicken, said Muffy. They're only peeled grapes, Jell-O, and cold spaghetti. Now, they weren't being very kind to Arthur, were they? Even though he was kind of a scaredy cat. I agree. That was not kind. When it came time to go trick-or-treating, Buster knew which houses to skip. Don't go there, he said. They only give apples. Gross, said Francine. Okay. See, they didn't want apples. They wanted the teeny tiny little candy bars like the Butterfingers and the Milky Ways and all the good kinds that Miss Becky B likes. The Twix are my favorite, by the way. And don't go to the big house on the corner, said Buster. That's the witch's house. My brother saw someone go in there last Halloween and he never came out. Arthur tried not to look afraid. Now let's stop there for a second. Do you think that they might be exaggerating just a little bit? I think so. I think so. Arthur and his sister had trouble keeping up with the others. First, D.W. got her tail caught. Then her bag broke. You're such a pain in the neck, said Arthur. D.W. must be short for dimwit. Oh, that was not nice, was it? That was not nice. And you know, I don't know what D.W. stands for, and I've always wondered, but I don't think it stands for dimwit, because see, the D would be for dim, and the W would be for wit. But that's not kind to call somebody a dimwit, because you're really just saying you're a dummy. That's not nice, is it? But D.W. didn't answer. Arthur turned around just in time to see her disappear into the witch's house. I take that back. Maybe D.W. does stand for dimwit, because I don't think she should be going into that house, do you? No. Let's see what happens. Arthur's hands turned ice cold. His heart began to race. He walked up to the spooky old house. The front door was open, just a crack. Slowly, Arthur went inside. Now let's think for a second. If his hands turned ice cold and his heart began to race, how do you think he felt? Might have been a little bit scared. Look, cried Buster. Arthur just went into the witch's house. Look at their faces. Even the baked potato says that's not a good idea. And he's the brain. She'll probably put Arthur and D.W. into her oven, just like in Hansel and Gretel, said Sue Ellen. Maybe she's using them for some weird scientific experiments, said the brain. I bet she locked him in the cellar to starve, said Buster. Maybe we should follow him, said Francine. Maybe we should call the police, said Muffy. Everyone was too scared to move. So they've got their little ideas in their brain because of their background knowledge. See, the brain, he likes to think about science, so he thought they're going to be used for science experiments, right? And then, I guess this one, she liked fairy tales and Hansel and Gretel, where they put them in the oven. But, you know, who knows? I don't know if I think any of those are right. Maybe you think what you think they might be doing, but I don't think any of those are right. We'll just have to see one more. Inside the house, it was very cold. Arthur thought he saw ghosts all around him. He walked down He walked down a long, dark hall. At the end, he saw a light under the door. He heard noises. One was his sister's. Now let's look at this for a minute. There's sheets all over the furniture. Lots of times, if people are not going to be in a house for a long time, they put sheets over the furniture so that it doesn't get dusty. And they take care of things so that when they come back, it'll be clean. But there's lights down there, so if there's lights down there, either somebody has lit some candles or there's electricity somewhere. I wonder if there is somebody in this house. Oh, there you are, said the witch. We were waiting for you. I came to get my sister. We have to go. I hear our mother calling us, said Arthur. I don't hear anything, said D.W. My name is Mrs. Tibble. I hope you won't leave without some cider and some donuts first. They're chocolate, your favorite, said D.W. Well, she's an older lady. She's got a cane. She doesn't look like what we think witches look like in books. She's not got a black hat and a broomstick, does she? And she's being very nice. Let's see. Sometimes things aren't always what they appear, are they? I've waited all night for trick-or-treaters, but you're the only one, said Mrs. Tibble. Years ago, our doorbell never stopped ringing. Maybe it's broken like your windows, said D.W. Mrs. Tibble nodded. It's harder for me to keep up with this big place these days. Maybe if we help you fix up your yard, the place won't look so spooky, said Arthur. Hey, there's an idea. I think Arthur is beginning to not be so afraid and not be so scared. Sometimes the things that we think aren't always as they appear, are they? Look how nice she is. Arthur finished his donut as Mrs. Tibble opened the door and turned on the porch light. She gave Arthur and D.W. a big hug. "See you Saturday to rake the leaves," said Arthur. Oh my goodness. I think they've made a new friend. What do you think, boys and girls? Now let me just stop right here and tell you. This is a story, okay? This is not real life, okay? This is make-believe. You shouldn't go and run off from your brother or your sister if you're trick-or-treating and go into some stranger's house, okay? But this is a good story because it has a happy ending. Because they made a new friend and they found a way they could help. "You're still alive," said Francine. "I can't believe you went in there alone," said the brain. "You're so brave," said Sue Ellen. "What's in the bag?" said Buster. "Probably eyeballs, hearts, and brains," said Francine. "It's easy to find out," said Arthur. "Just close your eyes and reach in unless you're scared." "We've been to every house now. Can we take the shortcut home through the cemetery?" asked D.W. And a cemetery is a graveyard. It's where people are buried when they die, and there's big concrete monuments that have their names on them. That's what a cemetery is. "The cemetery? On Halloween? Are you guys crazy?" asked Francine. I think they're getting in the spirit of Halloween now. I think they're realizing that most of it is just make-believe and for fun. I think Arthur even had a smile. "Follow me," said Arthur as he marched ahead. "The cemetery is a great place. People are just dying to get in." Get it? They're dying to get in. I like jokes like that. So that is the end of the story. And I hope you enjoyed Arthur's Halloween. And I would love to read you some more stories. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day and a happy Halloween. So I'm going to give you my bat signal. I'm going to blow you a bat kiss. A bat. Excuse me, look at me. I got into the spirit of Halloween. It's not the bat signal. It's the bee signal. I'm going to give you my bee signal and blow you a bee kiss, and you see if you can catch it.